was I gonna do here? Alright, we're live. Part of me wants to add, like, maybe Twitter. I was gonna add. I don't remember what other platforms I was gonna add. I don't think I can add. Anyways, let's try and wrap this up. What's this?
Yum, yum.
Floyd here, the quick look.
Oh, yeah. Hmm. They're switching over from Moto to Cinema 4D apparently. I think somebody suggested Cinema 4D as something like that I might like. Sucks that Moto's dead though. It also sucks that Foundry didn't want to sell off Moto. Like, I understand why they wouldn't, but it still sucks. Magic CSG. Magic has CSG. Magic of Voxel. Hmm. Wait, what? That's not what I wanted to do. Wait, is this stuff open source? Is Magica open source? It is open source, I think. No, it's not. I'm confused. Do they not support FBX? Anyway, sorry. I got distracted there. What was I doing? Hmm. All right, let's get into actually working this. Houdini to Unreal HDA. Nodes. Node Syncs allows you to transfer assets between Unreal and Houdini without a dedicated HDA. You can send any type of asset that supports. It's supported by HDA input and fetch any asset type. It can be output by the plugin. See inputs and outputs for more information. Interesting. This was node sync. Session sync is interesting. Now I'm curious about that. Houdini. This one's session sync. Wait, do I have Houdini installed? I forgot to even check. I don't think I do. No, I do not. Okay, I'm gonna have to install that. We're going for 2144. Wait, which version of Unreal am I on? I think I'm on 5.6, if I remember correctly. I think this version's 5.6 because 5.6 was the first version to have proper mass. I am on 5.6.
The internet runs on many engines, but Nginx is the
Wait, what? There's a 5.6 PCG? Wait. Wait a second.
Installing the Houdini.
Unreal. Sorry. Houdini, Unreal versus Houdini, Unreal, PCG.
Itineraries. You can swap your proxy meshes with the final version simply by updating the data asset. Here's a stylized foliage example using the same Houdini Alembic to Unreal PCG method. We all know these guys. Each one of these Lego pieces is an instance. After Unreal Engine released PCG, I got really excited to create large worlds with it, since it's very similar to Houdini procedural nodes. In this video, I'll be combining both Houdini and PCG to create procedural environments. This is an example of a building with, this is the meshes, and this is the point clouds. So each of these points have attributes that correspond to the meshes, and they have rotation and scale and so on. So the topic points have piece attribute, mesh underscore ID. That's how we know that this is mesh 0, 1, 2, and so on, and they can be spawned based on those attributes. So once I'm happy with this, and I want to export that into the engine using PCG, I can export either with Alembic or CSV, so two ways. So I export the point cloud separately, and I export the meshes separately. And I go into the engine, this is the point.
Wait, seriously? That's like an option? It is. That's kind of cool.
Cloud, and in this case it's the Alembic example, and I'll show the building. Once I'm happy with this, an environment artist comes in and they can change these meshes into something more detailed. So for example, I'll replace this with this example here. So a modeler or environment artist can recreate these simple meshes into something more detailed. And of course we do still have the ability to do the procedural stuff, like I want it to be a bit bigger like that, and then export again, go into the engine and change the seed just so that it updates, because that's how Alembic works. Okay, so now that we have that done, you can see how we can work procedurally.
Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how you can use the session sync with Unreal Engine. So here I'm in Unreal Engine, and I'm going to make sure I have installed the plugin so I can see my Houdini engine up top here. You can always go here to plugin settings, and you can see that there is a Houdini engine enabled here. So we are using, of course, the V2. So first of all, let's go here to the menu and make sure you are connected. So either create session.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm pretty close here. We'll just do this. I thought I closed this, but it apparently I didn't.
Or try to connect to a session, and at the moment I'm connected, and I can now just click on Open Houdini Session Sync. So when I press this, it will also launch Houdini itself. So I'm going to click on it, and you can see that here my Houdini is loading. And as you see, I have Houdini open now, and it will automatically connect to it. So you can see that there is a node here called Global Nodes. So whenever you see this node, it means you are being connected to the Unreal. Now there are also some menus here, you can see this better. So we can click on the plus icon, and we're going to go all the way down, and there is a Houdini Engine Session Sync menu. So this is also used for if you use the Unity connection, and you can see that it is currently running this session. So if I want to stop this, I can also click stop here to break the connection, but at the moment it is connected. So let me put the softwares here side by side. What we can do now is I can grab here one of my assets, so I'm going to pick the portal asset, and you'll automatically see that I have the result here, but I also have now this node in Houdini for this asset. So I'm going to focus on in my scene, and I can see the same asset that I have in the scene here, also here. So from there we can go in here, I can press my menu, and I can change parameters. So we can, for example, play around with that, and we can also see the change here happening. So now we have this connection between the two softwares. What is also really great now is that I can start building and improve my tool by just go inside here, my tool. So I can go inside this network, and I can keep building on this portal. So we can just open this network, allow editing, and I can start here building on top of this. So if I change the scale here to 100, we will now see that we change the scale here as well to 100. So this is a new possibility of working, and we can now have a more flexible workflow where I can immediately see what I'm doing from Houdini into Unreal. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.
Neat. It's not what I care about right this moment, though. This is what I care about right
Welcome
now.
to Houdini Foundation's Procedural Assets for Unreal. This lesson is designed for people who are new to Houdini. To create game assets using Houdini's node-based workflow, it's important to start learning how to think and work procedurally. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to create a simple building using procedural nodes in Houdini. To start, we're going to create a new project. I call it hengine_lesson. This will have all the directories we need to organize our work. Press accept. Next, we're going to go save as, and we're going to save a file named hengine_01. Now, once I have that, we press C. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to use geometry from the Unreal scene to drive the instancing asset. So we're going to go back into this asset, and we're going to give it a maximum input of 1. And if we do that and press accept, you'll see that we're actually now there's an input that's been added to this network. And what we're going to do is
Yeah, so what we need to do what was this one again? Right. Yeah. So what we're gonna do, come across here, just like that, and then we're gonna come over like this, bring this here over, so they're a bit nicer together. Go. Just like that, and then I can bring this over here, and then here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this. Right, effectively, all of this, which is just really this, and we're going to turn this into a where do I see the version? There you go. Why is it defaulting to 1? That's not good. What is this outputting? That was weird. There we go. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to have the assets come in.
We're going to create an option of either using the grid or using an output or an exterior piece of geometry. So we're going to put a switch node down right in between here, and we're going to feed the input number 1 into that. Now, if we're then going to put a subdivide because we want to make sure there's lots of detail, otherwise the attributes won't work very well. We're going to put like a 5 in there. So whatever comes in, we want to break it down into lots of little pieces and then go from there. Now, if we go up to the top, we might want to put a little box in here, just something to feed in so that we don't get an error on that. And so if we were to go to here and say switch, you'll see that all the instancing is going to that sphere. And that's fine. That's sort of what we're looking for. For now, we're going to make it a little more effective in a second. Let's start by bringing this up. And of course, what we want to do is bring the switch node over. And we're going to drag that over. And once we have that over, we can turn that into a menu, of which the 2 options will be 0 is the grid, and 1 will be the input geometry. And there we go. And we press accept, that saves everything, and we go test it. So if we go back to here and we rebuild, doesn't really affect things for this asset because we're using the grid, but there's. So now we're going to set up instancing for Unreal using the system. And let me explain what this means. Right now we've copied the points, which seems what we're doing instancing, but when we look at the static mesh, the whole thing is being brought in as one big piece of geometry, which is not very. Now we're going to create another digital asset out of the system we just built in and see what this tool does. So in the content browser, let's go back up to the top level content where we put the building asset, and then we're going to import the populator. Drag it from the content browser over, and it'll take a second to cook, and now we see our grid inside Unreal. Now let's save and just press play to just walk around and see what that looks like. So we've got a whole bunch of shapes in here that are all randomized with their scale and orientation, and that's all as a result of the network that was built. Now, the normals are a little off on this, so we can fix that, and we can also begin to enhance what this asset does. So if we press escape, we get back to here, go back to Houdini, go into the subnetwork, and we're going to move this off to the side, and we're going to just put a normal node underneath the original shape, so that shape is working. And we're going to go save asset, populate, and if we rebuild there, you'll see that the normals are properly set up on the objects now. The thing that we want to do next, though, is we want to edit some of the properties. And just like we did before, we want to add some parameters we can play with on the assets. We're going to bring over the size, and we're going to bring over, let's say, the number of scatter points, because that's something we might want to control.
We're going to edit this as well. But right now I want to just be able to bring in
then we can bring over the relaxed iterations,
actors.
Maybe maximum relaxed radius, and we bring over however many parameters you want, press accept. When we now, you're going to see that those parameters we just built are available for manipulation here, just like they were with the building. So we can go back to here, and we can say, okay, we want to make that 8 or 10. Maybe we don't want to go in that direction. Let's go to 8 in that direction, and then we'll go in this direction. Maybe we'll go 10. That spreads those out. Maybe we don't want 250 pieces, maybe we only want 200, and we can play with relaxation on that if we want. Maybe we want to relax it a little bit less. So all of that can be manipulated here, and what's happening is, again, is the host application is talking to Houdini. Houdini's clicking the node to give me the result back. So this Houdini engine allows you to have that interconnection between the two. And there we go. So that's the system right there.
It is this one then.
So now we're going to set up instancing for Unreal using this system. And let me explain what this means. Right now we've copied a point, which seems what we're doing instancing. But when we look at the static mesh, the whole thing is being brought in as one big piece of geometry, which is not very efficient and could be done better. If we go to copy to points node, all we do is click this pack an instance button, and that will have a huge impact on how that is set up. So if we go save populate, we go back in here and we do another rebuild. Now after we rebuild it, instead of one big piece of geometry, the little cube is going to be brought in as an instance, and then it's going to get instanced within the Unreal system. So this is a lot more efficient, and because of that, we can actually take advantage of it to replace the little cube with things within Houdini. So for instance, I take this prop bush rather, bring this over, and maybe change its size to 0.25.
This is what we're gonna do.
0.25 and 0.25. So now we're instancing the bush instead of the little cube. So the cube in a way was just a stand-in, and once we had it in here, we were able to replace it. Now if we press the plus sign, we'll now get two of these. One of them has been scaled back up to 111, but we'll fix that in a second. And we're going to replace that with this rock. And by putting more than one object here, what happens is we're getting sort of a random distribution of the rocks and the bushes within the system that we built here. So it creates a nice sort of nice way to build up a little environment. Press play, and there we go. So we populated this with a combination of bushes and rocks. And you see that the sizes of the elements are still being affected by the p-scale and the orientation that we set up before. Now if we add one more element, let's go up to the level prototyping meshes, or material meshes, and let's bring in the chamfered cube. And just thinks about it for a bit and then it goes blue. Let's go 0.4, 0.4, and maybe just 0.2 in that direction. There we go. So now if we save and we press play, you'll see that we have three different kinds of objects instanced around to create this little garden of bushes and rocks and blue cubes. So there we go. Now let's go add some new features to enhance this tool. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to use geometry from the Unreal scene to drive the instancing asset. So we're going to go back into this asset and we're going to give it a maximum input of 1. And if we do that and press accept, you'll see that we're actually now there's an input that's been added to this network. And what we're going to do is we're going to create an option of either using the grid or using an output or an exterior piece of geometry. Break it down into lots of little pieces and then go from there. And if we go up to do that, all the instancing is going to that sphere. First, what we want to do is bring the switch node over, and we're going to drag that over. And once we have that over, we can turn that into a menu, of which the two options will be 0 is the grid, and accept it, that saves everything, and we go test it. So if we go back to here and we rebuild, doesn't really affect things.
Wait, where was the
asset because
instancing?
using the grid, but there's a select input option now. So let's tumble around and let's put a second version of this asset in and see what we can do with it. So once we do that, we press we need it. So if we go back to here, we want to do it maybe a little bit different than that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put down a group node and say, you know what, we don't want it to go, we don't want to use the whole geometry. We're going to
Did I miss something here?
Means right now when we look at the static mesh, the whole thing is being brought in as one big piece of geometry. Which is not go to copy to points node. All you need to do is click this pack an instance.
Oh, pack an instance. That's what it is. Here we go. So now when we bring it in, we should now we should be able to bring it into here. We see that we have this. Beautiful. Node sync, awesome. Node sync's interesting. I wanna play with it, but I don't know enough about it right this moment. For now I'm gonna minimize that here. And then we're gonna come down to here and we're gonna create ourselves a Houdini folder. And we're going to import the HDA. Now, if I bring this in, and then I go to my actors. Oh wait, no, this was a PCG. We're going to add in a spline actor here, and we're going to draw our spline. Okay, so input 1 is going to be wait, no, this is a world. I don't want the world. Would it be geometry input maybe? No. There we go. And then into here. Can this be an actor? It says geometry, but geometry is not really what I want. Can't remember which one's which right now. Okay, so three. Okay, so 2 here. Okay, two is this one. Okay, so if we come back into here, we look at 2. 2 is going to be this actor right here. It does work. Okay, there. And then here we want this one. Recook? No, rebuild. Take. Hmm. Houdini HDA, sorry, Houdini Unreal HDA curve. And hide old. Oh. Oh. I think I was doing it wrong.
What's up everyone? Today I bring you an update for my geometry along a curve tool. This is going to be release 1.0, which includes a streamlined workflow and also implementation inside Unreal Engine. So to showcase it, the 1.0 release, I made this zip file that you will have an access to, that you can see the so that you can see the common workflow for the tool, and basically how to set up. And also this update also includes the complete integration inside Unreal Engine, so we can basically anything that we create inside Houdini, we can recreate it inside Unreal Engine by copying geometry along a curve. So this is a little bit of a simpler setup, but basically any features that I showcased during the video inside Houdini, you can easily copy the geometry inside Unreal, basically transfer it by instantiating geometry from the content browser. So yeah, so the previous release, so a little bit of a let's take a look at the history of this tool. So the initial video was about angle-based instancing, and this is still basically supported, but this is really the main focus of the tool right now. Basically, remember when I made this video about the pipes, maybe you saw it, and then the geometry release 0.9, which is basically there was just a quick walkthrough of the tool that you can use, and again, I can just go ahead and start creating my polylines.
Is this about the tool or the actual how it works?
And the main node of the tool is geometry instantiation. So
Houdini, Unreal, curve, HDA, curve. Geometry input, curve input. I wonder. Okay, let's go back to this one here. Editable node. Oh, right. There. Right now we don't care about this. Come into here. HDA with editable curve past the curve. Asset deformation toolbar. Okay, so that should do it. Welcome back, Kira. Wait. Yeah, you were here yesterday, Kira. Welcome back. Save. We're gonna save this bad boy here, and then we're gonna come into here. We're gonna delete this. And we're gonna we want to re-import this. Wait. Yeah, this needs to be changed. What if I bring it in now? What do we get? Well, where's the curve? Here, curve. The curve is hiding from me. I watched your stream yesterday. You remember? Yeah, I remember. I remember you, Kira. Kira. Yeah. As I stumble over my words. Okay, so it's this one goes into 2. And this one goes into 1. But we still don't have our curve. I try to just FYI, Kira, I try to stream Monday through Fridays, and sometimes Saturdays and sometimes Sundays. But I try to do Monday through Fridays. But with that being said, not always successful. This week's gonna be, I think this week, except for the weekend, this is gonna be my last stream because my stepmom's in town starting tomorrow. Why is this not coming in though? Like, here's my output. Oh, maybe it's because I didn't have the output selected. That might be it.
It is not exclude the instantiation of geometry. There are options.
Ugh. Houdini, sorry. Houdini Unreal Engine HDA curve. I don't see any spots that I missed anything here. So he put it in the editable nodes section. And then voila, it's there. Right? He didn't even have to adjust anything. So why is it not working for me then when I have it in my editable nodes here when I do asset here, curve 1, beautiful. So 1 is fence post. We haven't done any of these at all, but you can't bring in the thing here like that. So I just don't know what the benefit would be. Save. We still don't have our curve. Hmm. This is invalid now. But to be fair, this is an older version of Houdini. We're on 21. Curves are useful for controlling how assets behave in Houdini, since you can display and manipulate them in Unreal Engine viewport. Houdini engine for Unreal allows you to use either Houdini's curves, or Unreal spline component to control your curve SOPs in Houdini. You can create a Houdini curve using input curve. A input curve or editable curve node. You can use Unreal spline component in a world input node. That's what I tried to do. I don't think I see that as an option though in Unreal. Right? Because like if I come down here to the Houdini inputs, curve input is not an option. World input is. More information, please. Consult curve inputs. Curve data can be marshaled. Detail panel. This is not what we're seeing. Curve types allow. You make a curve SOPs editable to create enable in Unreal to create editable curve node. In the type properties, locate the node tab, add your curve SOP to the editable node list of your asset. You can make multiple curve nodes editable. In Unreal, you can edit the editable Houdini curve directly in the editor viewport. Note, this workflow is now deprecated and isn't compatible with card SOPs introduced in Houdini 19.0. To use editable curves in Houdini, make sure to use curve sobs. Wait. The curve 1.0 sobs. Oh. That's a whole new thing, I think. You can also use Unreal spline components to control the curve in Houdini. World Outline allows you to connect any actor in the world to your asset input. Okay, this is what I want, right? Okay, so let's try that one more time. World outline input. Houdini input, world outline input. Keep world transforms. Some of these options are just not there, right? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, right? Okay, there's the world input here. Start select. Use current. There we go. World outliner. We'll select the spline component as a curve. It's a curve input in Houdini. If the actor with the spline component is selected, the spline will be converted to a curve SOPs in Houdini, and real spline component will be resampled to linear curves, as their behavior cannot be reproduced one-to-one in Houdini. Spline refined positions are sent to CSV and to the Unreal Spline resource parameter allows you to choose the sample length used to resample and sends those points to Houdini. Default value of 50 in Unreal and Marshall. Spline controls the points. Unlike Houdini curves, closed Unreal splines are not created as closed curves, but as open curves in the same. Okay, so it might be there. let's test it. Okay, this one here is the fence connector. And this one here is my fence hole. It's not working. Cool. It's not working. In version 2, world inputs can work in bound selector mode. When enabled, the selected actor will be used as a bound selector and will send to Houdini all the actors that are in their bounding box. In that mode, the world input will display two lists, one for the bound selector and the other for the selected actors. Wait, is it because... What's going on here? So when I move this, it does do the thing, but I don't get the inputs correctly. Like there's no inputs. I wonder, this isn't what I want, but I wonder if this would do the trick, right? What if I did this? I hope you're doing good. I'm doing okay. Dude, sorry I didn't catch your last few streams. I've had flu. That's entirely fine, dude. Welcome back. So this kind of blows. This isn't working the way that I wanted it to. This isn't supposed to be a mesh. This is supposed to be a I wanted this to be a actor. The resample doesn't want to work either. Nothing's working. Like I can move this, but that doesn't really help anything. And I don't get my fence connectors. If we pack, maybe? That just made it worse. How's your day going though, Squid? This is literally me just trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. Now, there was this, right? Which is what I actually wanted to do, was just this. But it's saying that this curve might be bad, right? So what we want to do is we do want to get a curve going here. Right? So if we go like this, we do curve. It's saying that we have to use a curve 1.0. Is it this one? Or is this one here? Wait, this workflow is deprecated and isn't compatible with the new. to use editable curves in Houdini 19. Make sure to use there are two methods to achieve this. Right click on the curve SOP in the network editor. Type curve instead of curve 2. Editable assets, definition tool via asset. Always select curved instead of curved drop down. Okay, so if I come back into here and we select this, how do I know what type it is? You feeling better though, Squid? How are you feeling? Right click the curve SOPs in the network editor and use action change type to curve instead of curve 2. Full name curve 2. That's why. Right click on the curve SOPs in the network editor. Use action change type, then change the node type to curve instead of curve 2. This is quite the procedure here. Okay. What is going on here? Okay, there. And then perspective set top. And then we do this. We do this. There. This thing is huge. I wasn't really paying attention to how big it was. Go back up to here. And let's redraw this. Because this is way too big. Yeah, we're gonna come down like this, and then we're just gonna delete that, and then we're just gonna come over to here and just redraw this. This is still really big. I think. Yeah, this is still fucking huge. That's a bit too small, I think. There we go. There we go. Oh right, I forgot to make that update. There, and then asset save. We're nowhere close to being done. Like even if this works, we're still not there yet, right? I forgot to re-import. That was my bad. Oops. Oh, I found it. it is there, and it is fucking massive. Holy shit, it's huge. We're gonna have to edit that, but at least it's working. That's much better. Dear God. Okay, so then if we come into here and we bring in our poles, right? Which are unfortunately not the poles that we care about right now. So this is one pole. See, now this is going to be a bit of a problem. Just FYI, because right now these are getting generated way too big. So if we come back into here and we come into here, what we're going to have to do is we're going to come under here. 0 point there. I think this is the size that we're looking for. Yeah, that's the size we're looking for there. Then we come into here and we take a look at these, and these are way, way too big, right? To do top. These are massive and horrible, so we're not going to do that. When we come into here, we're gonna zoom in a lot because we want to work on a much smaller scale, something reasonable. There we go. Why can't I snap? There. Right, and then the resample here, we want to resample to, say, 2 for now. There. Why is it so far? Oh. Wait, no, it shouldn't be that far away. So where the fuck are they? Wait a second. That's why. Oh, that's not it. Do 0 for now. There we go. Then what if we do this? No, not that, not that. Right. No, this needs to be max. We could do center. There's not right now. Max. Why does it feel upside down? There we go. That's correct. Then this is which side are we going for here? Wait, what if I do none? There we go. That's what we care about. Am I upside down here or am I upside down here? This is so disorienting. Home selected. Home selected. Why is this upside down? It is weird that the up is wrong, but also maybe not. So let's just do this. File, asset, save. And if we bring that into here, let's see what this looks like now. That is better. That's, yeah, that's more reasonable. Okay. So now what we want is we want our fence. There's our fence posts. Are these under? Upside down? Yeah, they are. Okay. So they are upside down. So that's a thing. And we're going to fix all of this stuff in a second here. And it works. There we go. Okay, so I do need to figure out why it's why everything's upside down. There we go. There. There we go. Okay. Okay, and then edit. There we go. And then we're going to edit asset, inputs. This one, we're going to say that we're actually only going to have 2. Here's the save. Then we want to resample at half the width of this specifically, like this here specifically, right? So we want to get the size. That's not what I wanted. I suppose that's kind of what I wanted. Houdini, get the size of a mesh. Give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Now I think come into here. Did we do the re-import? There we go. Okay, so now we just need to do offsets. So we need to do the measuring first. The measure sub to your network. I didn't say environment. Wait, what? Oh. Area, attribute name area. What if we do a bound? Total area. I just want the length. Get box size. Determine the size of a mesh. You can create a detail wrangle. Get box size. Okay, so if I do an attribute wrangle, right, and we do details, and then it's get box size. This isn't what I care about. Get box size. That's what I care about. And what's the output? The output is is a vector. And we do this, and we do I thought this was supposed to be a vector. There we go. Look at that. So we know that the size here is whatever we kind of want it to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this here up here like this. Here like this. Swap. There. And then this here we need to actually bring up a little bit higher because we will actually want this here to be in line there. We're going to delete that. Just like that. And then this we're going to bring over like that. And then it's this one right here. And then length right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do equals so we don't actually need the add anymore. Like we're going to turn this into a vector here. 1. Then here we want to actually pull in this here, and Houdini get attribute value. Not Vex. Houdini languages. H script. Get attribute. Get detail attribute. That's not. No, that is correct. Yeah. Sweet. Okay, so it's working. Then these are effectively our resample, right? Okay, so this should work in theory. There we go. It actually kind of is working. Oh, right. Okay, so this is supposed to go to that. This one here is supposed to go to this. This one here is supposed to go to this. Like that. Yeah, that's it. Right there, and then this can come down to here, and then this comes up. And it makes for a much nicer situation here. There we go. Why does it need to be times by 2, though, is kind of my question. Here's my offset, right? And what we effectively want is this, right? And then we want to offset it in the negative. So what we do is we do this, and then instead of that, we do 1, right? And then we do times 0.5. And then apparently this is not. This is absolutely not working. So let's drop a null down here. So we can go like this. This is what we want, right? And then we're going to come into here and we're going to say, hey, this here, we want this to be nothing. So like say 0.5 there, right? But this isn't what we actually want. We want to bring this over like this. It's like right there. Right? Just like that, right? Then, if we come down here, you can see that it's a little bit better here. Do perspective selected. We want this perspective selected. There we go. So one of these is actually going to be perfect. the start. There we go. Here's my start, right? So this is damn near perfect. So damn near. It's not perfect. We need to adjust it a little bit more. Here we're gonna say this like just a little bit more. Just like that. That's damn near perfect right there. Now this is wrong. Right? So this isn't working here. So if we come to here, go like this, like this, like this, like this, go like this. Oh, that's why I'm being an idiot. Here, this isn't actually what we want. There we go. And then what we want is f at pole offset equals pole size 1 times 0.5. There's our pole size right there. And then really what we want here is, let's see if this will work here. Can we do this? Yes, we can. Sweet. Okay. Perfect. Then if we come into here, we say 1, and then we want pole offset. But we want this to be minus. Perfect. We're getting there. Why is it so big, though? And if I come into here, we go 0. That's not what we want either. Right? We want to bring it back. So this is supposed to be 0.3, right? But our value here is 4, right? 0.4, 0.4, which is way too big, right? Which leads me to the question of, like, why is this so big? Like, why is it so big? If, like, how big is this really supposed to be? Oh, I'm getting the height. That's why. Houdini. Now, if I come into here, it's the red, right? Which is the first one. If I do 0, I think 0 is actually what it's supposed to be. Isn't it? No. Wait, why is this one so wrong then? It's actually box size 2. Okay, so there. Then I can grab this and I can just paste it into here, right? And then we have the pole offset. There. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so this we want 2.5 maybe? Two, 4? 2, 3, 4. 4 might be a bit too in. Yeah, 4 is a bit too in. So it's 3.5 maybe? No. I think 2.5 is still the best. Like, yes, we have a little bit of a hole right here, but I don't think that really matters. We'd bring that in a little bit, maybe like 2.6. There we go. It's like 3.1, 3.2. I think I'm going to bring it in just one more dot here. So 3.2. There we go. 1.5. Oh, wow. We're gonna bring it back out. I don't like that. There we go. And we're gonna have the tiniest bit of a hole right there because it doesn't matter. We could bring this down a little bit too. What if we do this? There, and then we do an offset here. Because then we can actually use this offset here as like what we're going to have there. There we go. And then we can have a little bit of an offset if we want to adjust it there. Perfect. Now if I come down here and we look at the entirety of this, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? There is a fundamental problem here, and it comes down to this, right? Because this isn't quite right. Because we're not using we're not using the full size of everything, right? So what if we do this? Here's our length. But that seems way too long. Oh, that's why. I did it wrong. This keeps the pole offset. Yeah. Okay. Then here we do this. Zero 0.3. This is still off, right? Because the new pole comes in just a little bit too where we don't want. Right? Because this pole is supposed to be over just a little bit. Was my offset here? 4 actually seems like exact right on there. And I'm not really sure why it's 4. Let's go to this last one and see. It's still perfect. why is it 4? why is it 4? Hmm. Like, I don't think that 4 holds, right? Like indefinite. I don't think it holds indefinite. I think that it works for the specific size that I have right now, which is kind of fine because that's what I care about right this moment, right? There we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in the these as attributes here. These need to be sliders. Houdini attribute wrangle sliders. Float slider. Whole set percent.
Present.
I did spell it right. I'm like legitimately actually surprised that I did that right. Okay, so this is supposed to be 0.3, so we're going to do this. Okay, I thought that this created them, right? Why isn't it creating my my thing? Oh, okay. It's my bad. There we go. I don't think this, if I'm not mistaken, I don't believe that this one gets used anyway. Hey, Polly. I'm doing okay. Yeah, I've been okay. I'm not modeling in Houdini. What are you talking about? This isn't modeling. I'm 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 actually not joking. I'm not actually modeling anything. I'll show you what I'm doing. Just give me a second here. I'm building a generator. This is the piece that I'm working on in Houdini right now. If I grab this and I go like this, right? There you go. All right, if I go like this, there you go. That's what I'm doing. But right now, if we come into here, right, everything's just a little bit screwy. So I've updated it, and now it looks like this. Look at these now. Oh, isn't that beautiful? But I entirely understand your question about the about modeling, because I do model in Houdini like a freaking madman. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this one here and we're gonna pop that into here. Then we're gonna take this one. This one here. And we're gonna pop this one into here too. There. And then that automates that, which automates all of this. Well, that gets automated. This is automated. That's automated already. So these are the only two values that we care about. There. And then if we then come down to here and we do asset save, we come into Houdini here and we're going to jump to this fence generator here. As to asset. We're going to re-import this. Re-import. There. Then we're going to open this up and we're going to go and rebuild all instances. Oh my God, look at this. It's perfect. Is it absolutely the most perfect that it could be? No, but it's mostly perfect. Look at that. Nice. Yeah, and then I can grab this one here and bring this back here. Right? And then we can make another line and it will just, there we go. Now, you might think this only works on flat surfaces. It does not. What do you think? What do you think, Polly? Now there is something that I need to fix though, because it's bugging me. Now, this might actually work since we're actually looking at the right thing now, right? So this is actually the piece that we want to bring in. Or should I say time efficient? Yeah, it is. It's much more time efficient than placing it all by hand. So if I come into here and we come into here and we do this, does it work? It did work. Look at that. I don't know what just happened, but it did work. Does the other one work? No, it really does not like actors. Houdini to Unreal. Use actor instance. Use actor. Bake Houdini output to Unreal actors. You can use Unreal Bake Actor. Using Houdini asset actor creates a Houdini asset actor by adding Houdini asset component to the blueprint actor, or by placing a Houdini asset actor directly in the level. You use the Unreal Bake Actor. This is difficult. He tells you difficult. Use blueprint of script. Houdini assets. You can use blueprint to Houdini asset component to a blueprint actor, or by placing a Houdini asset actor directly in the level. Control Houdini with Unreal. You can set up Houdini to use Unreal actors as inputs for your HDA. This is done by selecting the desired actor in the level and using them as world inputs in Houdini engine or Unreal plugin. Ah, okay. So wait. If I go down to here, and instead of we doing a geometry input, we do a world. This is the fence post, and this is the fence post that we want. Use selected. Then if we come down here and we select this to a world, and then we come down here and we select input, and then we grab the fence, use selected. Well, there's definitely something weird going on here. It worked. I'm not even gonna lie at all. I was not expecting that to work. Let's see if this. After baking, we're not going to remove the HDA right now. But let's bake it and see what happens. Does this fence actually work is now the question. It does not. It does not work. Where's my Houdini asset? I need to drop that and then okay, here we go. That's not what we're looking for. Okay. Bake. That's not right either. Hmm. Recook? Rebuild? No. Okay. Oh. So this is a problem that I didn't foresee, which annoys the fuck out of me, is that these are all wrong now. Because I need each one of these to be an actual blueprint actor. Really fighting the ad blocker now that it's the holiday season. I can see them doing that. Houdini to Unreal. Using full actors. Detail tab select fake. This creates an Unreal asset and a static mesh. They can do blueprints. I don't like this. I don't like it works, but not for my specific use case, I don't think. Right? Because like this does work, but like it doesn't actually do the exact thing that I'm looking for. And that might need something else. Googling hard or hardly Googling? A little bit of both. Well, the fence generator works, right? So if I go like this, we can move this down and it will actually reproduce this, right? But want to do this to the actual asset themselves, right? And there is a way to do this. But the fence totally does actually work. It's just not quite what I was looking at. Like it's not doing the thing that I want it to. Because these need to be these, right? The answer might be to go through PCG. So Houdini to PCG. Houdini PCG. Houdini PCG build, because then maybe the fence might work. Let's go chat Jupiter. New chat. I'm working with Houdini HDAs inside of Unreal Engine, and I would 6 Houdini 2.0 side of Houdini 5.6, and I would like to have Houdini use the actors that I created to build. I would like to have Houdini place the actor I created into the world at the set points. Is that possible? That's it. In your SOPs network, generate or import the points where you want your Unreal actor to appear. Add Unreal instance attribute on those points. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and we are almost there. Create points in your HDA. In your generate or import. Wait, what? One sec. This is important. Instance translator. This is effectively what we need to do here, right? So what we do is we come into here, right? Right here. Then we do this. Right? And this here, we create a string input for it, right? So if we come up here, we can come here and we can see this. Sorry, not this. We can that we do this. Come down here, we do this, right? But we don't actually need to do it this way. We can do it like this, because I believe that if I come into here and I do add attribute or attribute, where's the add attribute? Add Houdini, add attribute node. Attribute create. Is that what it is? There it is. So I bring this up, then I bring this down here like this. Right? We go to the points. We're going to go to here, and from group, we're going to say points. Our attribute name is going to be Unreal Instance. Welcome back, Polly. We need 2 strings. String? Want a separator? This one here will be fence. I think that's what I was calling it, right? Oh, connector. connection. There. Then this one here, we'll say fence. We'll say pole. Pole. Fence pole. Fence pole connector. There. There's our Unreal instance there. This is supposed to be a string. And the name of the variable. And here we do ch. It's ch. How do I get a Google for this one? Houdini H script get HDA value. Okay, so I think this is ch. Oh, wait, this isn't right. Would it be a local here, right values? So local variable. ch. No, this isn't it. Oh, wait, no, this is it. Yeah. Ah, there it is. Fence connection. Now, if I come down to here, we can put a default value in here. But I actually want to utilize the value that ChatGPT gave me, because this gives me an idea of what it's supposed to look like, so I don't forget. Wonder if this will work. That did not work. No, no, I have not. We're gonna try and add it here. come into here and we do this. This is S. There we go. And then we can just delete that. Right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to come over to here and we're going to copy this and just place that there like that. Then this here, what we're going to do is we're just going to delete all of this. Do that. And then both sides, now we have this here. Now this is not the fence. The fence connection is not what we want here. We want the fence pole. We come over to here and grab this. And we just paste that into here like so. There. And then we come into here. We're going to copy this and paste that in. We're going to pull this over here. Go like this. Apply, accept. There. Beautiful. Now, if we click on this and we go to points, no, we don't actually want to do that. Sorry. If we come over to here and we click on here, we go to the points, not the vectors. We can see that these here all have the truck actor.
Okay, middle schoolers, it's time to write an essay about the book we spent all semester reading.
ChatGPT, write an essay about the book. All done.
ChatGPT, write this essay.
Mom!
What?
What the fuck is a G+?
Look!
Oh, honey! ChatGPT, how should I feel right now?
Bad.
I hate you, son!
Mr. President, the people are protesting. ChatGPT, generate a movie about idle pooping on the stupid Americans. I hate the stupid Americans.
We're experiencing record-breaking numbers. We're gonna need more power. ChatGPT, how can I make more power?
Unplug something.
Oh.
ChatGPT, I heard I to propose to her.
Error.
And ever I could, please try again later.
ChatGPT, how do I tell if he's proposing to me right now and how to do how do I say now?
Error.
Help! What is 1 plus 1?
ChatGPT? Chat?
1 plus 1? 1 plus 1?
We could chat? Oh, we could?
How do I make the people I don't like disappear? How do I...
67. It's so accurate. Jomar, since you teach art, has anybody ever tried to hand in ChatGPT generated images? Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised that that was your answer? Filter to copy it? Wait, what do you mean a filter to copy it? Is that like where they generate an image, they bring it into an actual app, like, and then they trace over it or something like that? Welcome back, Polly. I have a feeling that Twitch is gonna fail. I'm not even gonna lie. I think that Twitch is on its way out. I remember when that was like a really unpopular opinion that I. And you like this documentary? 10 out of 10. Fucking great. I remember when I've said this before, and I've been saying this for years, that Twitch will lose the streaming wars, right? And I put them in quotes because it's not really much of a war because Twitch isn't fighting. Twitch isn't fighting. Kick is just exhausting resources for the sake of because the owner of Stake enjoys live streaming, like actually performing live streaming, right? Pointillism, right, where they need to shade with dots, so they grab the image that I gave them to copy, and they just told ChatGPT to turn the image into, and they started copying the points in the image. That's so weird. Okay, that's stupid. So they did just ChatGPT image generation. Straight up. Okay. But yeah. I remember back when like Gaz and all the art streamers, Pollybits, do you remember when like everybody was actually streaming all the time, like in the art community? Like we had Gaz, we had Rush, Kate Wynn and everybody, they were all streaming all the time. And I back then, like this was like 2 years, probably like maybe 2 years ago now. And I was saying that Twitch is going to fail the streaming wars because because the platform is degrading and they're not doing anything to keep it up. And now people are like, Twitch is failing. I wonder how long it's going to take for Amazon to turn the switch off. And back then I said that YouTube was back then I still maintain this. YouTube is the future of streaming. Buff stuff. I don't even know what this is, but buff stuff. I don't think Twitch is going away. Just gonna get shittier. Well, it depends. There is a tipping point, right, where it is unprofitable enough and it's not doing enough for Amazon that Amazon turns it off or sells it. One of those two things is going to happen. So one of these two things is 100% going to happen at some point. Amazon is going to turn off Twitch, or they are going to sell Twitch. And who they sell it to is kind of up for debate, right? And it could be they sell it off to Kick, because Kick is likely the only person who would be willing to buy it. And redeems, then yeah, I could go there. But for now, Twitch. But okay, so the thing is that whenever I bring this up, that YouTube is the future of streaming, people always come back with stuff like that, Jomar. But the thing is that it doesn't matter if YouTube moves. YouTube does not need to move, because YouTube is the only profitable streaming platform. Now, when I say profitable, this has nothing to do with profitable for the streamer. It has everything to do with profitability for the company. YouTube is the only profitable streaming platform. So Kick stays alive as long as Stake continues to back it. Twitch stays alive as long as Amazon continues to back it. YouTube stays alive as long as people use YouTube. So the only way that YouTube streaming ceases to happen is if people stop using YouTube. Yeah, because it doesn't, they don't have to compete. YouTube doesn't have to compete in the streaming market to win. They're Steam. right? You think of YouTube as Steam, right? Right? Technically, for certain aspects of gaming, there are better platforms than Steam, right? Steam is not a perfect platform. It is an imperfect platform, and there are parts of Steam that Steam does not care about, right? And there are other companies that implement that better. But is there any part of Steam that is wholly going to get replaced by some other platform in gaming? And the answer is no, because Steam is there already, and they don't have to subsidize anything. Oh yeah, no, totally. Twitch has a far better chat system, a far better like engagement system, and everything like that. Like engagement, chatting, streaming is just like a far better experience on Twitch, 100%. But they could just be waiting, right? Like it could be that eventually YouTube buys Twitch from Amazon. Like that could be the future of Twitch, is that they get bought out by Google finally. Or I should say YouTube specifically, because YouTube might get spun off by under monopoly laws. Because there's talk about it. I don't know if it's going to go anywhere. Like whether or not it goes anywhere or not is kind of irrelevant to this specific point. But there is talk, at least, about YouTube Alphabet being broken up into smaller companies because of how monopolistic it has become. And then it would never be. Then it wouldn't be a question of do they do the same features. It would just be like it's already there. Yeah, but YouTube can stand on their own. YouTube's profitable. YouTube is a profitable enterprise with or without live streaming. And live streaming is a profitable enterprise for YouTube. It's just it's not profitable at time of stream, it's profitable after the fact. So it's a second order profitability for YouTube, and it's something that brings people in and gets people to create content that people will watch eventually, and then people chop up that content for shorts and stuff like that, which are more profitable for YouTube themselves, shorts or YouTube videos and stuff like that. So it's something I'd never see them getting rid of because it's a profitable arm. It's not a particular it's not a amazingly profitable arm, but it is a profitable arm. The future of Twitch is ChatGPT. No, the future of streaming is ChatGPT auto-generated streams. What was I doing again? And other stuff, and you don't really have that with YouTube. Yeah, but that will come. That will come. Just give it time. It's just because YouTube's not a particularly great streaming platform. That's why a lot of people don't integrate with it. Also, YouTube did a really terrible job at making it accessible to integrate with. Right? It's not as difficult as you would think. Like integrating with like, yes, integrating, it takes time and it takes effort to integrate with multiple platforms like that. But the issue with YouTube, right, is and yes, I know I bring up Paint for this type of stuff all the time, but it's just because, right, like it's hard to explain unless you're a software developer what the issue with YouTube's API is. So the one of the big issues with the YouTube API for live streaming is that it's kind of shit. Like there's aspects of it that are actually quite kind of nice, but aspects of it that are actually kind of shit as well. Right? So one of the nice things is that you can have like 10 live streams all at once, right? So, you know, there, right? And these can all be on the same channel all at once. Because you can create different keys, right? So YouTube has the concept of multiple live streams on one account, which is really cool. That aside, that's not something that we care about as the type of that's a super edge case for like 0.01% of all of the live streaming community, right? The thing that they did that was kind of silly and weird is that in order to get chat from YouTube, right? In order to get your chat from YouTube, you make an HTTP request to the chat API. Then you wait and you make another HTTP request to the chat API. And then you wait and then you make another API request to the chat API. Then you wait and then you make another request to the chat API. And then you wait and then you make another request to the chat API. And this is legitimately how the chat system works. If you integrate with the API for chat for live streams, and then you wait and then you make an HTTP request to the chat API. And then you wait and make a right. So no, so Polybits, the thing that you're stating actually has nothing to do with the 10 stream thing, because you're still streaming using the same API key, your endpoint key, right? The thing that has to do with that they have to have some cutoff where they take your video and they turn it in, they start processing it into a VOD, right? So if you've stopped streaming, if you've stopped sending them data for long enough, they're like, oh, hey, we're going to stop it. And because of our video, because of the VOD system that backs it, right, is backing the live streams, they need to have that cutoff. And then when you start up again, because that cutoff was hit, it starts it as a new VOD, right? So if you think of it as VODs rather than live streams, right, you're creating a VOD live, right? So if you think of it that way, it makes a lot more sense, right? So anyways, so if you're unfamiliar what this is, right, this is effectively this. When I go to google.com and hit enter, that sends an HTTP request to Google, and this is what it sends back, right? So effectively, every time I want to see chat, if there's a chat update on the Google chat API, I have to hit refresh. So if I go 10 minutes without a refresh, I don't see chat for another 10 minutes, even if there was an update. Right? Music copyright. It would be cool if OBS could have a separate audio track system for YouTube, just like Twitch, where the music does not get saved into the VOD. I don't know. I don't worry about it. I'm on YouTube right now. There's entire swaths of content on Twitch that will go away if they have to switch over to YouTube. Like overnight. A lot of React channels will go away, right? Like people who just sit and react, like just chatting and react to stuff all day. Their channels will get hit really hard. People who play copyrighted music will get hit really hard. Right? Like it just, unfortunately, it just is what it is, right? But yeah, so this is the YouTube system, and this is then the way the Twitch system works is Twitch does it like this. So I create a connection, right? This is me, to a Twitch server. We'll just do that. Right? And I have this connection. And it's a two-way connection. So when you, chatter, sends a message to Twitch, Twitch takes that message. We'll just put this as an M, right? And it puts it on this wire here. And it gets sent to me. And then I can put my message here on here, and it gets sent to here, right? Like that. And then it also gets sent to you. No, I completely get it, right? I'm not saying that YouTube's a perfect system or that it is the best system, right? My statement is only just solely around the business of it, right? I can see the future of the business. I can see the future of the market, right? And the problem is that nobody has been able to, the only people who have successfully monetized live streaming is YouTube, right? And this has nothing to do with like, and a lot of people look at it and are like, well, you've got people that are really profitable on, that are doing really well on Twitch and stuff like that. And it's just like, sure, individual people are doing well, but the company is doing horribly. The company is doing absolutely horrendously, amazingly horrible, right? Like the company as a whole is unsustainable. Twitch is an unsustainable platform, right? Kick is an unsustainable platform, right? So look at it through the eyes of sustainability. Twitch and Kick are unsustainable. YouTube, sustainable. YouTube funds itself, right? Kick and Twitch are both unsustainable. They will fail, right? That's the thing. If it's unsustainable, it is going to fail, right? Kick has a CEO that loves live streaming, and he wants to find a way to make live streaming profitable. And he might be unique, and he is a very intelligent man. So Kick has the potential to be profitable. And I think if any company is going to figure out how to make live streaming profitable, it will likely be Kick. Because YouTube does not care, and we all know that YouTube does not care about making the act of live streaming profitable. Because they turn it into a VOD and the VOD makes it a profitable enough endeavor. Right? Twitch doesn't seem to care about actually making it profitable. They just care about shoving as many ads down everybody's throats until the platform is until everybody leaves the platform, and they don't actually care about innovating, right? Twitch has already marked their flag in the stand in the I do not care about this entire section of the internet, and I will stand here until everybody surrounding me leaves, and then I'll shut down the service. That is Twitch's current stance. Kick's current stance is, I want this area of the internet to be profitable, and I'm going to do my best to try and make it profitable, and in the meantime, I'm going to fund the shit out of it. Right? And YouTube is, I have found a way to technically make live streaming profitable, but it's indirectly, and I really don't care about live streaming. And those are your three camps, right? So like, if any platform's going to figure it out, it's going to be Kick. But I don't even know how they would do it, right? Like, and this could be like ignorance on my part. I just don't see a path to profitability for any of them other than YouTube. And maybe the answer is that they go the YouTube route. I agree. It is 100% not what I want to see in the world. I don't want to see, I don't like monopolies. I'm actually really happy that YouTube and Kick are both around to compete with Twitch. The problem is that Twitch just doesn't care. Because Twitch should care. And if Twitch does care, then they would start working towards trying to make live streaming profitable without destroying the experience. But they don't seem to care. So they're not working towards that. And YouTube already knows that they're the only ones that are going to be around in, long term, because they're the only profitable ones. So if Kick figures out how to make profitable live streams, that puts pressure onto YouTube, because now YouTube actually has a competitor. But YouTube doesn't view Twitch as a competitor. They don't play in the same space, and YouTube just doesn't give a shit. Right? So technically technically the monopoly, there isn't a monopoly on live streams, but there technically is, because one company doesn't view themselves as a competitor. The other companies don't view each other as competitors, right? Like the companies that matter don't view themselves as competitors to each other, right? Kick is the only one that views themselves as a competitor to anyone. But they only view themselves as a competitor to Twitch. They don't view themselves as a competitor to YouTube. I actually initially started streaming on a defunct streaming platform now. No, absolutely not. No. No, it's not good. No. There's not enough billionaires to make that a reality. Like, there's an argument to be made for TikTok being a live streaming platform, because a lot of people are live streaming on TikTok. But I also don't see TikTok being a long-term platform. I see it as it's a fad, and it's going to go away. Also, there's no money. There's no money in TikTok. Like, there's money for the platform. There's not money for the creators. And TikTok doesn't care about their creators. So I don't really view them as much of a long, like, I don't even really think about them when I think about live streaming because of like the absolutely just dumbass shit that they do all the time. but no, the issue with live streaming is that it is so ungodly expensive to live stream. Like, to disseminate live streaming is unbelievably expensive, right? Because when you own a server and you're distributing to people, you pay for every bit that goes across the wire, right? So think back to when your cell phone back in the days when you didn't have unlimited plans or unbelievably large plans, right? So yeah, so if you think back to, would you say that if live streaming dies, people would just go for short videos? I don't think that live streaming is going to die. I think that people are just going to move to YouTube and have a far less enjoyable experience. I think it's going to hurt live streaming. And then live streaming will be monopolized by YouTube, and YouTube doesn't give much of a shit about live streaming and pushing that forward. They did at one point, but they don't anymore, right? Tooling will come that will allow for more interactive live streams and stuff like that, and that will make things better, but it's not going to fix YouTube fundamentally, right? So Sam City, it could end up like TV, where traditional TV would slowly die. Oh, hey, Nick Eyes. Cancel YT. I'm doing okay. Yeah, sorry, we're having a conversation about how the future of live streaming and how it will end up on YouTube. Not unless Kick figures out how to make it profitable, it will all end up on YouTube. And then in the realm of this, I'm working on getting this working here. Which, if we come over to here, we can see that I brought it in. And then if I move this forward here, there. I have been here for 3 hours. Oh. But how can Kick even be able to make it profitable if it's so expensive? I don't know. Right? Okay. So I don't know how they like, I don't know what, like, okay, so if you go back to the 1800s, or maybe even further, like when was the first skyscraper? Like go back to the 1700s, right? And tell somebody that someday we're going to have 100-story buildings, or 90-story buildings, or 80-story buildings, right? They wouldn't even be able to comprehend how we would be able to do that, right? Like, somebody might be like, if you talk to enough people, somebody might be able to put together like an estimation on like how it would be possible, and believe that it is possible someday to happen, right? And some people would just be like, it is impossible. There's no way that that it could ever be done, right? It is possible that somebody will figure out how to make live streaming profitable. How they do it is something that I do not know. Right now, right this moment, there is kind of a way to make live streaming profitable. There is actually a way to do it. Bear with me here. What you do, right? And this is gonna be the easiest way. This is a way that I personally can make live streaming. I personally can make live streaming profitable if I do this. So just bear with me. Bear with me. What we do is, right, today it is 2025. Right? Let's say that we never pass 4K for live streams. Right? And then here we'll say X time, X date, right? This is our date in the future, right? Where I've figured out how to make live streaming profitable. What we do is every year, right? Here's our little red button, right? Our red, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go like this. We're gonna make this little chart, right? X day in the future, right? And then then this is dollar per byte. Right? And then what we do, right, is we wait and it eventually comes down like this. So when this number gets low enough, streaming will be universally profitable. Provided this other chart, right? BPS, right? So this is the byte count. And this is the seconds. Right? Right now, right? Like let's say that 1080 is here. This is 1080. And this is 4K. Right? Right now, it's going like this. But if it goes like this into the future, this chart works. So these charts just need to line up. So if we cap at 4K, right? 4K has a finite number of bits to send. And then we just wait till it goes down far enough that it's profitable to send. Because the price per byte goes down every year. So as long as we don't increase the number of bytes that we have to send over the wire to make a live stream possible, eventually it will be profitable on its own. That's literally how YouTube is doing it. Like the platform of YouTube is sustained by the price per gigabyte to store data goes down every year. Right? And the price to send that over the wire goes down every year. So because hardware gets better every year, they're able to continuously upgrade, right? And they've got enough money, they've got enough resources to do the continual upgrades that it works. I'd have. Blueprint. These are both points, right? Yeah, okay, these are points. Name your actor. For instance. Okay, let's see if this works now. Maybe? This might work. Okay, so we we come here. We need this. Wait, do I only have one input now? Oh, right. Here's the poll. Oh, what if I just do this? Oh, you have to copy the reference. Well, you don't have to. You can make the reference, but whatever. Okay, so what happens if I recook this? And what happens if I bake this now? I don't think this did what I wanted it to. All right, have a good one. Thanks for showing up. Hmm.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the eHoudini Academy Foundation module. In this video, we are going to continue on building out the instancing system where we left off last time, because I had to split the video. So without any further ado, let's continue with that. Okay, so next let's create the controls that we need to determine how many vents we actually keep. Because right now we have all our potential vents being spawned, at least in our little dummy setup. And what I want to do is filter out for each of these small and large vents, how many we want to keep, and then have a control for the ratio, so we can determine if we want more small vents or more large vents. And then finally, I want to have a random seed value so I can randomize which points are actually deleted by reducing the amount of points. So let's go over to the type properties, and let's start setting up some new parameters in here. The first parameter that I want to set is for the vent count. So let's create a...
Give me 1 sec, I'll be right back. Okay. 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 Ugh. I think the exhaustion is starting to kick in. I get up, I walk away for a couple minutes, go to the bathroom, and now I'm just like, I feel like death is coming for me. I think we're gonna raid my buddy Rush. He's a very talented artist. Anyways, actually, let's give Sam some love. I've never rated him before. Anyways, thank you all so much for showing up. It was great to chat with y'all. And Jomar, you might really like Sam. Anyways, wait, did it not raid? Oh, that's why. All right. Well, thanks everybody, and I'll see you after my stepmom goes home. So I'm gonna try and maybe stream on Saturday. Anyways, thank you, and ta-ta for now.